Hello everyone. In this series of Wheels Within Wheels, Magic of Numbers, we are going to study some important numbers. WD Gann has already mentioned about this numbers here in terms of years, months, weeks, days, also in terms of degrees. So we'll try to understand them. For that, we'll try to go towards the Tunnel Through the Air book. This is page number 78 of the book, Tunnel Through the Air. Somewhere around midway it says we'll just try to read about that so that we can get the interpretation about wheel within a wheel. In every law of nature there is a major and a minor, a positive, a negative, and a neutral. So a positive, negative, and a neutral, it talks about 3 points, law of three. So those who have not seen the videos regarding law of three can definitely go through that. Therefore, in cycle, there must be a lesser, a greater, and intermediate cycle or cycles within cycle, like Ezekiel says, wheel within a wheel. Now, there may be different kind of cycles. Here, W. Gann talks about lesser, greater, and intermediate cycle. Now, understand he's also trying to say something about greater cycles, which may be probably bigger cycles, which you have already seen, but we'll try to discuss more about that part also. Time is a great factor that proves all things. The measurement of time first originated and is based on the Earth's motion upon its axis. One of the greatest cycles or time factor which repeats regularly in things that are very active and have a high vibration is the 4 minute cycle. Now let's try to break up this cycle which is there of 4 minutes. So if we have 4 minutes and we try to break that into seconds, that is 40 into 60, we have 240. So we have considered this 4 minute cycle as 240 second cycle. Of course, we are trying to bifurcate here also into a table, which is a 4 minute cycle, which also comes to 240 second cycle. Now you must be remembering something pertaining to the Pythagorean numerology, where we have numbers from 1 to 9 and the letters which are there, those are been interpreted as per this number starting from 1 to 9. Here understand most important thing is we don't have a zero over here. So all the letters, all the alphabets which are there, they are be bifurcated into 1 to 9. This is how they have been given together. So if we consider 240 and remove 0 from that, we get 24, which is again a cycle. So we have this first cycle of 4 minutes, which also comes to 240 seconds, or we can consider the number as 24. The reason for this is that the earth moves 1 degree every 4 minutes. So this is talking about the first cycle of 4 minutes, 1 degree equals to 4 minutes of the rotation. The next cycle is 24 hours, the complete time required for the earth to make one revolution around its axis. Now, this is again very important. If we try to bifurcate that, one day comes to somewhere around 24 hours. Of course, we have a slight difference in that. If we talk in terms of minutes, it comes to 1440 minutes. And if we talk in terms of seconds, it comes to 86,400 seconds. Now, again, this number which is there, that is very important. This number 1440 is again very important. We'll see that what is there as a magic in these numbers which are there. But yes, what we understand is one day is 24 hours is 1440 minutes. And in terms of second, it is 86,400 seconds. Again, we know the number importance of 144. If we remove 0, we know the number comes to 144. We understand the importance of 144, which is 12 into 12. The day is also been divided into 12 hours. So if we have an entire day of 24 hours, half of that is the daytime, which is 12 hours, and half of that is the night time. So that is the second cycle of 24 hours. That is how man measured his cycle of a day. The next important cycle is 1 year, the time required for the earth to move around the sun. This brings about the 4 seasons of the year. These are the minor cycles. Now, Gann considers the seasonal cycles to be a minor cycle. Understand, again, we know because of the equinox on solstice, we have got different seasons which have been there in a year. So we've got 4 different seasons. So in a year, if we go for the bifurcation, 1 year is 12 months. We have 52 weeks. So year is 365 days, which comes to 12 months. And if we try to divide that for weeks, it comes to 52.142857. 142857. Why I'm talking about this is it is not exactly 52 weeks, but something additional from the 52 weeks. So for a day, it comes to 365 days. In terms of hour, it comes to 8,760 hours, and minutes, it comes to 5,25,600 minutes. So here the number becomes a bit bigger, but if you consider in terms of a bigger cycle, probably 52.56 is again something equal to the number of weeks. So here we had the first cycle 4 minutes 240 seconds, which was equal to somewhere around 24 in terms of numbers, which is again the day cycle of 24 hours. Here the minute cycle is 52.56, which comes to somewhere around 52 weeks. And we have seen the week is 52.142857. So here it is 52.56. Now, if we talk about in terms of the seasonal cycles for a season, we know that there are going to be 4 seasons. So if we consider the cycle, which is of 360, and we divide that into 4 equal seasons, we have 90 days or 91 days. So it comes to 91 days. Of course, we can see various cycles which are there of this time frame. We'll be able to see various examples of the 90-day cycles for 19th of October 2021, the high of to the high of 18th January 2022. This was again of 91 days. From the low of 20th March 2023, if we consider for 90 days, yes, we again get a low. And in this 90-day cycle, we again see sub-cycles of 30 days. From this low to second low, we had a cycle of 30 days, approximately again 30 days, and then one more cycle of 30 days. You can see a 90-day cycle being subdivided into 30-day cycle also. So from this low of 20th March 2023, we have got a 90-day cycle, which has been marked over here. We also get a low to high cycle of 120 days, and again a low to high cycle of 180 days. So we see a cycle of 90 days. Again, we see a cycle of 180 days. 180 days is half of 360. That is a 6 months cycle. So in terms of year, it is half year, 6 months, 26 weeks, and 180 days. It can be a day or two extra. So here we see also a 180-day cycle. This can be different cycles which can be further divided. So after this low of March 23, we had a major low on 26th of October 2023. And from this low, again in 90 days, we again had a major low. From this, in next 90 days, we again had a major low. So this low to low cycle can be again subdivided into, let's say, somewhere around 30 days, 35 days, 30 days together. So this is again a cycle which has been formed. Same way we can go for the next 90-day cycle also. We have seen a 90-day cycle. We also saw a 180 days cycle. Again, if we check from 24th of March 2020, which was a major bear cycle low. From that, again, if we try to consider somewhere around 180 days, we again get a major low which was been formed. And if you want to check for squaring of time and price, from the low of 24th of March 2020 to the low somewhere around in June 2022, we had somewhere around 815 days. And this 815 days, the market moved somewhere around by 8,150 points. So that is somewhere around 10 points per day movement in 815 days. This is again something related to squaring of time and price, where time and price do meet with each other. Not only that, we have got bigger cycles also, which is there of 15 years, which comes down to 180 months. There are smaller cycles than that, which comes to somewhere around 7.4 years, approximately 90 months. Now, this 90 days and 90 month cycles are probably somewhere around acting together. There are cycles which are of 365 weeks coming to 84 months, approximately coming to 7 years. On page number 371, Gann has specifically talked about that, which says it meant 360 days, 360 years, or 360 degrees. So, degrees, years, or days, these are all convertible in terms of time. This is something really important for us to understand. Jana especially mentioned about this, where he says time is a great factor. So he talks about time as a factor that proves all things. The measurement of time first originated is and based on Earth motion upon its axis, one of the smallest cycles or time factors. So he's talking about time factors. So these are all various time factors which have been related. He had discovered about this time factors through the way in which numbers are be written. So if you try to understand how numbers are be written, things would be much more easier to understand. Let's say, for example, a 15-year cycles is also 180 month cycle. A 365 weeks cycle is 7 year cycle. So these numbers are very important. A 180 month cycle is somewhere around 3.45 year cycle. So let's look across this 15-year cycle, 12-year cycles also. Now, if we look across from November 1995 onwards, we first of all get a 15-year cycle, which is again a market high in November 2010. This is a 15-year cycle, which comes to somewhere around 180 months. We also had a high, which was in the month of January 2008. This was 114 months. This was around a 12 years cycle. Now, if we try to subdivide this again, we get cycles which are there of 49 bars, that is 49 50 months. Bottom to a high, and then again a second high, and we get one more high which is there. So these cycles are again been subdivided. Again, as we go further, we'll try to understand how these numbers are very important, because we look at the bigger cycles, we know that we have a 4 minute cycle, we have a 24-hour cycle, we have a 365-year cycle, but there's one more dimension to that, which is the precession of equinox. The precession of equinox brings across different numbers to us. This together with the time factors becomes much more important, and then probably we'll see that the numbers which are there, those keep on repeating. We have a wheel within a wheel, and this numbers gives us a different set of data to be understood. So probably in the next video, we'll try to understand about that part also. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.